So Janet, thanks for joining us today to talk about your pandemic memories. And what an incredible year it's been. I know between the virus and the isolation, and then we had the Black Lives Matter movement, and we had the election of the president. So it's just been a crazy year. But let's talk specifically about the pandemic. And when you remember feeling like, okay, this is really going to be real, and it's worrisome.
I think it hit me straight on from the beginning because I had one of my friends, well, one of the first people in the correction officer in New York City that died from COVID. So we were hearing about COVID and it was out there and the boogeyman was there, but it hadn't gotten to anybody that I knew. So I was like, we'll see. It's really, is this, how real is this? And so it hit me. He was one of the first. It started really early and it kicked it off. And then I have a lot of family members in New York City and they were terrified, and explaining the issues that were going on, and the hospitals were so full, and that they were bringing in these huge trucks, ice trucks for the bodies. It was very terrifying what they were mentioning, and they were very scared. So I started off the bat. And so I live in a small building, so we kind of locked down here. Most of the people here are elderly. So I was the one that went out and did the shopping for the building, so people didn't have to go out. But then, I was exposing myself, sort of, the one more at risk. So there were issues around, me helping, but me not spending time with them. And then, so it was a little isolating, and then I always thought, it's okay, I can just hang out at the beach or be outside. And then we didn't have that opportunity because they locked down the beaches, which they would have been super spreaders if they didn't. So I understand that. I just didn't think it was going to last that long.
How old was your friend who died in New York?
50.
Yeah, that had to be shocking.
It was shocking and sad. And then just people just started dying after that. I didn't really know other people directly, but my family members did because they're still in New York, and it was super sad. And then I had to travel to California because I had an aunt that was dying of pancreatic cancer that just happened suddenly. She found out, and 6 weeks later she was, passed. So, the paranoia of flying, and then it was an eerie feeling at the airport because there weren't a lot of people there. So I felt like I shouldn't be there, but I had to. It was a long flight, layovers, and then getting there and, isolating till I could be tested and not being able to spend much time. I mean, she didn't have COVID, so they allowed us to visit her, but they were really short visits, like 15-minute quick visits. And she was scared and she wanted more time.
Yeah.
It was really sad. And organizing her friends, it was very sad.
I'm very sorry about that. And then you had to come back and you're grieving the loss of your aunt.
Yeah, that was really tough. I think that I never had a grieving process like that. I mean, of course, I had major loss. I lost my mom, but that kind of grieving was so isolating, right?
Yeah.
I was home alone, depressed, when I flew in, I was in bed for like 3 days. Like I realized, wow, it's been 3 days and I haven't connected with anybody. I need to get up and get going. I was working from home.
Yeah.
It's just an isolating. It was a really, really isolating. And I'm, comfortable on Zoom, and we did family stuff on Sundays. I mean, I just can't imagine those people that didn't really have people to connect with or couldn't or didn't have the technology. It's very isolating.
Or the people in the nursing homes where their family couldn't go in.
Yeah.
So sad.
And they couldn't socialize with each other. They had to stay in their rooms. It's a tough situation.
And so you've gone back to work though?
Yes. This Tuesday was the first Tuesday I was back in the office in a year, which was really eerie because like nobody in the parking lot. I mean, it's like, I thought that I was the person that was going to be the last person on board to come in because I haven't been vaccinated yet. But there's a lot of people that are not back in the office.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to figure out, is this the new norm or has the new norm not started yet? What is it going to be like? So from having a year of all this turmoil, right? Political, all of this stuff going on, I'm still very anxious because I don't know what the new norm is going to be,
Right.
And we're so isolated and polarized.
I think we were taught a very important lesson that you don't have control.
Mm.
Things can happen outside of our control.
Mm-hmm. And also just for me, just to understand who people are around me. I thought, I thought when this pandemic happened, this is going to be the thing that brings us together because, everybody's in their own camp. I'm like, this has to bring us together. Something's trying to kill us. Let's get together. And when that didn't work, it really scared me about, humanity and society and where we're going and how can we get there if, us not protecting each other doesn't trigger it. So
Right.
I'm a little paranoid about that one.
I'm concerned about that too. We're too polarized.
Yeah, we're too polarized. And I really can't, a pandemic didn't do it, didn't help.